Good morning, paranormal community. And thank you for partaking in this wonderful episode of the Odyssey Files. I'm your host, Michael O'Neill. With me in all of his vigor, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Mr. Anthony Hernandez. Good morning, Anthony. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Battling the gremlins as usual.
They well, what I can't remember. I can't pick the word that I'm trying to. They're an intense little pest because they've haunted the show since the days of Skype. And when we used to do the show off, not us, but I mean when Dave and I used to do the show on Skype, we would just have issues and issues and issues. And then we moved into obviously I do believe we went from Skype to StreamYard. So and now they're haunting here. So they're grotesque little creatures who will not go away.
Like I swear, I had the lighting perfect, and it hasn't moved, hasn't changed, hasn't done anything different. And then this week it doesn't look right, and I'm like, damn it.
Well, now, so here's something that I have learned, and I believe this is the case because it's happened to me every once in a while. But I believe when like StreamYard updates something, or they give another update to it, it like resets it. So you have to go into like the green screen or whatever and move the fade, which will make obviously your background because you don't have the wonderful green screen like I do.
Well, I do, but it's just not as nice as yours, I think, or not the same color as yours.
It's green. Like it only needs to be one color. Do you have a blue screen? Is that what's going on here?
No, it's green. They have a button for that one anyway.
What, a blue screen?
Yeah, there's a button for that, I think, in there.
No, there's not. There's no such thing as a blue screen.
I want to say there is.
Whatever. We're not going to get into this. That's an off the air argument.
Yes.
So I don't you have said multiple times over, many weeks off the air, obviously, that you're really surprised that I'm like even awake. And
yes.
I know that I've joked about it many times and I have no idea. It's like sheer willpower and stupidity, I'm sure. But this is another one of those days. And I didn't even work last night. I've been off since Friday morning, but I have been busy. And that is because this last week has been weird. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a not typical way.
Yeah.
And I've told you all about it. I've told the team all about it. Not all about it. Actually, I think you actually have a little bit more information than they do, only because I wanted to see how this like little secondary type weird event that occurred played out. And so do I tell them this is some great information, or do I tell them about this like completely stupid ass thing that happened? And apparently it looks to me like it's going to turn into the stupid ass part. But earlier this week I got on Facebook, and we've talked about Maria from Mysterious Adventures Tours a lot over the past couple weeks, because obviously I went to Prague, which was her tour. Grant and Rihanna were on here, which are they work with her. She's been on the show obviously the past couple months, but she also works with Nick and Tessa Groff. Obviously, Nick Groff from Ghost Adventures, from Paranormal Lockdown, from Ghosts of Shepherdstown, uh, Death Walker. Apparently, is his own show. He produced Ghost Stalkers with Chad Lindbergh and John Tenney. But yeah, so I mean, if you're any part of the paranormal, you know who Nick Groff is. And so, of course, I was like, you know, let's oil the fingers here a little bit. You know, you'd set me up with little Groff action here on the show. But one of the things that she has been promoting, and I've seen it for a while, I just had no interest of going, even though it was only a couple hours drive. But at the old Baraboo Inn in Baraboo, Wisconsin, 3-hour drive for me. The Groffs were going to be at there doing this, not only an investigation event, but it was going to be this whole like prohibition type thing where all the women get in, the dresses, and the guys
Rapper
wear the
dresses and all
tie.
that stuff.
Yeah, guys wear the gangsters and the fedoras and stuff like that. And honestly, it was pretty cool. But I
I
had
was
no
gonna say
interest
that
in
sounds pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, if you live near there, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's not a free event, but I mean, who really cares? It's not like I don't spend money on shit like that. But she had posted that she was going to be there, which I didn't know until that post, and so I was like, oh, I was like, I'll, maybe I might drive down there and say hello, because she didn't get to go to Prague, so I didn't get to see her when she did that. She calls me up later that day. I think this is like Tuesday. She's like, "You can be my guest." It's like, you can come in, you can come be part of the event, you can be my guest. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I didn't even know if I was gonna go, period, just to say hello. But I mean, I was thinking about it, just I hadn't made the decision. Now I had. Like it's like, yeah,
Oh
all right.
yeah.
I can go. I can be part of that. I want to go to there. But so anyways, we get to Thursday now. I'll be off work early Saturday morning for the weekend. Uh, since I'm back with UPS, first week back with UPS, that's important for later in the story. But get some sleep, get up, drive down there, be a part of that event. So it's Thursday, like 11:30 Thursday morning. I'm asleep. I'm snoring up a freaking train, station there. But my phone rings, and it's Maria, and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "What are you doing Friday night?" I'm like, "Working." Like, yeah, I got a job. And she tells me that she gives me the skinny of what is going on, and I can say this because the Groffs announced it many times during the event. They probably have on their social media by now, just maybe not all the details. But she pretty much tells me that the Groffs are working with a new, I shouldn't really say new, but with a production company out of LA called Brandon TV. I'm almost wondering if this is connected to Frugal, even though he's Salt Lake City. So I don't know, I don't know if that's connection. I didn't bother to ask, but apparently they bought up the rights to all different kinds of paranormal shows that are not. I don't even know which ones. And but she's like, and the Groffs, instead of just coming for that Saturday event, they're actually going to be filming one of their episodes for their new show Friday night. But the production company messed up the scheduling or something, and Maria wanted to know if I could come on Friday night with all of like my cameras and stuff and fill in and be like the camera person for them. Like, I could. Like, I have cameras. They're good cameras. I'm like, but I work. She's like, can you get out of it? I'm like, it's my first week back. I'm like, and now all of a sudden I'm like, I know I just started back. I need Friday off. I'm just like, great. That's gonna look wonderful to my dispatchers and stuff. But because UPS screwed up, they forgot to put me on the schedule. And so they're like, they were like, oh, just come in and we can have you shift, which is like the one aspect of my job I hate. And so, I mean, the whole week started off with like this, like me shaking my fist in their general direction, because not only did they screw me out of being able to choose a job, like a much better job that would have put me in a truck, now I get to shift in the holy hellhole of horrible shifting areas. And so I found the main dispatch manager, Kyle, and I had never met him yet. He'd been there for a while, but I've been laid off so goddamn much. But found him, explained the situation. I'm like, since I'm just extra, I'm like, does it even really matter whether I'm here or not? And honestly, he was really cool about it. He was like, you know what? He's like, I like the fact that you talked to me about it. You're upfront about it, and you asked. He's like, go ahead. He's like, you got it. He's like, it won't be paid. I'm like, no, that's fine. I don't care about that. That's not the issue. So I let him know. Well, then Maria calls me back later that day. Now, Father Bob Bailey, who is going to be part of this show, is also coming to this event. And he's been somebody that I've been meaning to reach out to for months now about coming on the show. And I'm like, amazing. And so I get there, and the whole it was surreal for me, because I'm used to being in front of the camera, like during investigations and stuff like that. And now I had to film and keep my mouth shut. And
that's the hard part, huh?
that was really the hard part. Well, mostly because you know me, I say that I'm as sensitive as a brick. And even though that is an exaggeration, it's not far off when it comes to like an energy of the place. And I'm perfectly comfortable in this location. And they had it where me and another woman named Amy are going to be filming them doing their little walkthrough. Because Tess is a very accomplished and talented medium. And obviously we have Father Bob, and then Nick. And they come in and immediately they start talking. Oh, it's so heavy. And I'm getting this, and I'm feeling this negative, and I'm like, oh God, no. I'm starting to convulse. I'm like, because yeah, it was not easy, but I will not go into details. I'm sorry for the weekend. I mean, it was an amazing time. It was great to meet Father Bob, obviously Nick and Tessa as well. All three of them, not the same time. There'll be two different shows, but all three of them agreed to come on the show. So we will be scheduling that. There we go. We will be scheduling that. In fact, I asked Father Bob when was the best time to contact, because he gave me his phone number. It's good to be connected. But asked him when a good time to reach out, and and you just pretty much day after tomorrow, let me know. But yeah, it's gonna be great. And then I'm gonna do a plug here, just because I think it is so amazing. If anybody can afford it, do it, as long as you don't take my spot. Because I will strangle you to death. I will find you, and I will strangle you. Like, this would be my, what's the Liam Neeson movie? Why can't I think of it? I own it.
Taken.
Taken. Yes, I will be Liam Neeson, and you will have taken my trip. But Maria announced uh, at this weekend that the Italy trip, 10-day paranormal Italy trip, which was scheduled for September of this year, is being moved to May of next year, which means I can go because I can schedule off the time with I'll get all my vacation back. I can schedule it. I will be top pay, I can save and I'll have all the money after peak season. It's going to be amazing. But
You know
she
what? When
also
you know what I'm hearing with all this is that there's an overwhelming amount of synchronicities going on.
shut your mouth. So I'm going to say about that. But here's the other thing. So if you go to mysteryadventurestours.com, you can see the trip. Just look at the itinerary. Like I was sold by day 3. It's not a cheap trip, but my lord, what you get from it is unreal. And you don't have to do any of the planning. Like it's already there. It's already done. But one of the things that you'll see on the itinerary is you get to take a boat out to Paglia. I can
Yeah,
never
I won't
say
try
it
to
right.
butcher the name.
Yeah, people know what island I'm talking about. Obviously,
It's
Ghost
Plague Eye.
Adventures. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Ghost Adventures. I mean, it's one of the most famous islands in the world. Well, it's illegal to go on the island. Like it's off limits to everybody. And so part of the trip was just you take a boat and you like stare at it from the water. Well, apparently, and I don't know how, like this is how good she is. She's amazing. She got permission for the tour group to not only go on Peglavia or whatever Peglavia, I'd still say it's the same way, island, but we get to go in to like the hospital, sanitarium, whatever the hell it is. We get to go in, and worth it for the money, just for that. Like, if you're one of like 20 people in the world that are given permission to be on this island, I want to be there. So like I said, Anthony, when I told you about this, start
Yes.
saving because you're coming with. Um, but yeah, so I go if you can afford it, go on this trip. It, can't even stress that enough. It's going to be amazing. But
Yeah, I will say the access to the island is a super rare and it's not given very often. So
no, it's not. So yeah, it was wonderful. But yeah, Nick and Tessa were wonderful people. There was a lot of people at this event. It's not a humongous place, but uh, hell, what am I looking for here? But yeah, but it's beautiful. It is a really, really nice place. And like I said, the event was packed. There was just a lot of people there. So obviously during the investigation, I'm like, like this sucks. There's too many people. I can't ask any questions. So uh that was yeah, that was the hardest thing for me is I had to continually remind myself this is not my event. The people are not here to investigate with me. They're here to investigate with Nick. They're here to investigate with Bob. They're here to investigate with Tessa.
yeah, and as the cameraman, you're supposed to be quiet
Well, I was not the cameraman
for that.
for the actual event. I filmed it
Oh,
because
okay.
obviously I'm an investigator. And I threw my stuff in to my equipment. Like I brought the FLIR. I bought the REM pod, crystal pod key. I brought a whole bunch of shit. Because that's who I am. They brought a recorder in their phones. So I mean, but of course they have the Panasonic DR60,
Oh,
that
yeah.
does the digital and the analog at the same time, and then gets rid of all the silence.
Yes.
Mark my words, people. Uh, as they did in Wayne's World, It shall be mine. Oh, yes. It shall be mine. Uh, soon. Not this year.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
can't
say it's
believe
just the
I
price tag.
yeah, it is the price tag, and the price has actually come down now. It's only like, $1,500 for
Oh,
one.
only.
Yeah, uh, and then, like, some of the people that are selling them, like, it's the Japan model, so, like, everything is in Japanese. And I'm like,
Okay, why
"Yeah,
would
I know."
eh,
And that's selling for, like, $1,800, or they're trying to anyway. Somebody, I shit you not, somebody was, like, trying to sell one. It was like $1,200. It was probably the cheapest I had seen, but they wanted like $250 for shipping.
oh, I've seen stuff like that. When I was looking at when I was interested in getting a real Frank's box, yeah, those things
Mhm.
are insanely expensive, and then, like, you get one that's cheap and you're not paying attention, and you're like, "Shipping is $1,200."
If seriously, if you ever see a real Frank's box for like on the air, let me know. I will buy one.
Okay, I'll definitely share it to you. I've have a alert for that if I ever see one. No one ever gets rid of them, though.
Nor should they. And it's not like they're like, I think the people who know how to make them, I think they make like 5 a year or something like that,
Yeah.
and then, like, it's a lottery to see who gets them. I absolutely would pay whatever. I mean, maybe not whatever, but I mean, like, within somewhat of a reason. Like, I understand that they're gonna be pricey,
Oh, yeah,
but
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 seeing the result, I'm impressed by it, so I would
so am
it's
I.
definitely on my list. Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Um, Last thing that I will say about this weekend, which, many people found quite amusing. I did not really anyway. Uh, Part of the old Baraboo Inn, the upstairs version, it's 2 apartments, but it was a brothel, back in the prohibition days. And apparently, Maria calls me up, and she because I'm worried about my sleeping arrangements now that because I was going to go to the event and then drive home. I mean, it's only 3 hours. It's nothing I haven't done. I do it for a living.
Every night,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and I drive overnight, so I mean that's perfect. Um, and I did do that, by the way. Got home at 3 in the morning, so you know, low energy level. But she calls me up. She's like, "Yeah," she's like, "I arranged for you to be able to stay there, free of charge, for." She's like, "You're gonna be sleeping in the brothel." I'm like, great, wonderful. What could go wrong? Well, so I kind of resigned myself to my fate, but uh, everybody that I met when I got there was like, "Oh," she's like, "Are you sleeping here tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sleeping in the brothel." Every single person individually at different times who reacted the same way. "Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that." I'm like, so finally, I went up to the bar. I went up to the bartender. This is right before Nick and Tessa and Father Bob arrived. I go, "I'm going to ask you a question. I would like an honest answer." I explain. I'm like, everybody reacted to me saying that I'm sleeping in the brothel the same way. Why? And she's like, "Oh," she's like, "They really the ladies up there really like it when men sleep up there." Okay, why? It's like, well, they like to grope the men that go up there. I'm like, awesome. Not in a like woo, but ugh type. I'm like, I don't want to be groped. I mean, I do, just not by the dead. Uh, so I was just like, great, all right. Well, so now I'm tied. I'm split between being comfortable and being able to sleep, and my pride at because what happens if I go up there and I'm not groped? Like, does that mean that even dead, like women who are dead even don't think I'm attractive? Like, am I being rejected by the dead now?
Maybe it
So
would
my
be like your spirit guides standing guard over you.
well, that
Put the
would be
positive
stupid
spin
of
on it.
them. No, no, that would be stupid of them. But so yeah, I had to fight with that for a while. Longer story, a little shorter. Did not get groped at all, which I was actually fine with, and I did put in a request not to do it. So there's a bedroom, has a bed, and then it has like a really big, like long couch. And Amy, who I mentioned earlier, she was actually going to sleep on the couch. She was staying over, and this wasn't a planned thing. And so we were kind of doing after everybody left. It was only her and I in the building. Period. And so we did some of our own investigating and stuff like that. And I was like, I respectfully request you to just leave me alone. Just please let me sleep. Please don't grope me in my sleep. And they did not. So they fulfilled my request, my that request. But yeah, and even like when day started coming, it was like probably 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well, and I'm thinking in my head to them, I'm like, if you want to slap my ass or something like that right now, I'm okay with that. I got some sleep. But that didn't happen either. So maybe they weren't listening or interested. I don't know. Either way, I am not a fan of sleeping in haunted locations. When I sleep, I want to sleep. Leave me the F alone. Uh so that's why. But if I was filming and they wanted to get a little something something for themselves, I guess I would have been all right with that. Maybe next time. Maybe,
Take one for
got
the team.
yeah, they gotta get to know me first. They're women of stature now. They have standards. So yeah. But anyway, just it was an incredible weekend. It honestly was. It was great to finally meet Nick, um, and Tessa, and obviously Father Bob. Known Father Bob obviously since Paranormal State, and Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. Um, and got to participate in like 20 minutes of Zach Bagans bashing, which was amazing. Because it was like consensus all around. Like there was nobody that was like, "Gosh, I really like Zach." Though, no, there's none of it. In fact, I got into several more arguments about cats. Like people had stronger opinions for cats than Zach Bagans. I was obviously anti both, but yeah, but the new show that's coming out, um, I don't know exactly when, but they're finally going to get back into helping people in their homes. Like that's the premise of the show, and
Back to the roots.
back to the roots of ghost hunters, which is surprising considering Nick was a part of Ghost Adventures, was like the other side of of things, and obviously Grant and Jason and Ghost Hunters did the homes, and now it's like I can't even say it's reversed because obviously Ghost Hunters isn't on right now, but even they got into they stopped doing homes long ago. It was huge businesses and locations and Waverly and they got into the prisons. They got into uh the absolutely haunted locations. Uh so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what they do, how they approach it and stuff. So I guess look
Could
for
be
that.
good.
Yeah. Um they are going to go back to the old Baraboo Inn with the production crew. So I think what they're going to do is they're using the footage that we shot this weekend for like promos and stuff like that. So if you see promos of them doing the oh, one last thing that made this weekend so much more better. We were all eating dinner Friday night around the bar. All of our phones blow up. There's now a tornado warning right around us. And
Well, they
and
did say they felt
naturally,
the dark presence.
yes, that might have been it. So naturally, we all went outside. And it was actually really interesting because we went outside facing east, and there's probably the biggest like thunderhead I have ever seen. Like it just towered over everybody, or over over the sky. But you turn to the west, and then you just see all kinds of heat lightning and stuff coming in. I mean, it was honestly, if I was witnessing the scene in Twister with like the two storms, like they just like converge and they create the EF5, the F5.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what it felt like. Like we were watching a storm front here, a storm front there, and they were like gonna merge and blow us all to hell. So like, yeah, like Nick and Tessa, they both went live their Facebook feeds. We're all standing out there watching it. It was interesting. Like it's like what more could happen here? But
Charge the
I
environment up.
pretty much. So enough of that. I rambled way longer than I expect to. I apologize. It's time to get to our. And you were worried about time.
Yeah, I was.
Anyways, Disclosure Day. Obviously, for us right now, recording this live, it's next weekend. When it comes out, Steven Spielberg, obviously, and he said a lot about it, which is interesting. And I would like to ask you before we're going to play the trailer for it with his comments added in. So it's like the final trailer, which is way different than the trailers leading up to this one. So I would like to get your opinion, Anthony, on like what you thought from the first trailer to the last trailer.
The first trailer, there was a lot of speculation and what could or could not be in there and what it was exactly going to cover, and was it going to be a soft disclosure film or was it just going to be a Hollywood movie? And by the time the final trailer rolls around, kind of answers that question in the trailer. And then the stuff he said afterwards, after that trailer went live in the interviews and stuff, kind of cements what I thought the movie was going to be, kind of a wake up call for the people who haven't been following this the whole time.
Right. So I thought kind of the same thing. It was, what was it going to include? Because we're all getting ready for it. Like anybody who's been paying attention to this topic knows shit's coming. What it means, how much, we don't know. And that's the question. That's always been the question. And I had said, like, I felt a little vindicated because I said months ago when even before you became a host, but you were on the show when we were talking about disclosure and stuff like that. I had said flat out, it's going to come once the Catholic Church starts talking differently. Instead of God blessed us humans here on earth, it's going to be God made life around the entire
Everywhere.
universe, everywhere. And lo and behold, in the very first trailer, you have like the group of nuns. And the nuns is like, I can't even remember exactly how she phrased it, but it was like, it's arrogant to think that God would make this entire universe and, this vast universe and only put us in it. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the change. But that scene isn't in the final trailer, which I thought was interesting. In the
Just
last,
editing for time, I'm sure.
maybe. Well, yeah, they had to put in all the animals, all the CGI animals there, which honestly, I know that I said to you, based on their cartoonish type nature, that this was like the sequel to the Polar Express. But
Yeah.
as I think about it more now, it almost it's like the sequel, the more upgraded sequel version to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like I don't honestly like the animals, which we're going to show you here shortly. If you have not seen the final trailer, you are about to see it. Is weird, and that's in a movie about disclosure. And
I think I kind of think that might be on purpose because of what it's supposed to represent.
but it makes it look like a flippant cartoon. It honestly does. Like I'm like, how do I even take this seriously now? Like you're having her wake up and she's staring at a deer in her room. I'm like,
But you know
what?
you know what that's or at least what I think that's supposed to be, right? Is a screen memory, an implanted memory. And they kind of allude to that at the end of the trailer.
I'm sure they do.
They do.
It just looks terrible. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm gonna play the trailer, full trailer. It's 2 minutes and 43 seconds long because it includes obviously it's not an interview, but it includes words from Spielberg himself about the movie. And then you will see what I mean. Like you'll be, what the F is this? Because that's exactly what my reaction was. I'm still gonna go see it. But I have more questions about that than I do about the movie in general. So I'm just, or about disclosure in general, I should say. So here we go. Enjoy.
I can see them.
I am much more inclined now than I was when I made Close Encounters to really believe that we're not the only intelligent civilization in the universe.
What did you steal?
Secrets. People have a right to know the truth.
This is a story about us, all of us,
Good morning, Kansas City.
up against the most extraordinary event in human history.
What's happening to me? I'm frightened. I'm frightened out of my wits.
You don't need to be. You have someone else.
Daniel Kellner,
Who is this?
do not go back to the house. They found you. I don't know who you are, but they're gonna kill you.
The human race cannot accept what we know. We need to stop him any way we can.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
This 79-year cover-up of the truth has to end.
We're interrupting our coverage.
How will disclosure change us? I believe for the better. It will remind us of our capacity for empathy, and that there is something bigger out there than just ourselves.
The only way to know your purpose is to go back to where it all began. I know you.
I know you do. What happened to us?
I used to say to myself, wouldn't it be wonderful if all of this turned out to be true? I'm now thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful for people to know
They're coming.
all of this is true?
Yay! So now everybody understands what I'm talking about with the. I forgot about the raccoon and fox and the cardinal. I yeah. I whatever. I just I'm sure it will all make sense with the movie, but picking those individual scenes just was weird for me.
Well, you want me to not like I've seen it, I was gonna say, but you want me to tell you what I think those are gonna be?
No, I don't care about your opinion, Anthony. Of course I want to know what
Okay.
you think.
I think the animals are gonna be screen memories, which is basically alien implants to basically not break you, to know that you were taken by aliens. I think the part where it's all lit up and she's walking into the house is gonna be them walking into the ship, and that's them as little kids when they were doing whatever they were doing with them medically to them.
Well, I think did I read it or some I think they were turning them into hybrids.
Yeah, it at least it hints at the hybrid program. It hints at psionics. It hints at remote viewing, downloads. Uh, what else is in there? Oh, the Collins Elite, the basically the program people. It hits at all those things, which is I thought was like the coolest thing ever to see all those aspects in the movie.
I what does anybody know how long this movie is? Like, I just get the sense from everything that it's going to be like 3.5 hours long,
I think it's a little over two, but
a little over 2. So
yeah,
pretty average for nowadays. Because now even romantic comedies are 2.5 hours long. Takes that long to fall in love nowadays.
2 hours
So
and 25 minutes.
2 hours 25, 2.5 hours sounds about right. It's an Avengers movie.
Yep.
um. So Steven Spielberg obviously went on, the promotion tour, doing interviews and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Um, was even on Stephen Colbert. He was one of the final guests of. I think he was on the very last show of the Colbert Report, or not the
he was.
Colbert Report, the late night with Stephen Colbert. But you clipped a little bit of it, but I'm surprised you did not clip the part where he was talking about how if anybody should be chosen to be like the representative of Earth to these aliens, he's like, why not me? He's like, I did Close Encounters, I did E.T., I did like he's listing all of these alien movies that he did. He's like, why not me? He's like, do I not deserve to be a part of it? I thought that was
Yeah, he basically I was gonna say basically in the interviews he's come out and said that he's kind of jealous of people, the experiencers, because he's wanted to see one from the very beginning, and he's not had the opportunity or the he's not it's not been him so far.
I'm honestly surprised. I mean, however you want to think of Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, who does the CE5. Like, I'm surprised that he hasn't like reached out to him and be like, "Can I get a private session, or can I join one of your groups?" Because apparently, like they never go away disappointed of seeing the lights and stuff appearing. But yeah, but he gave an interview to the AP, which you have clipped, and so we'll play 'em one after another, or one. We'll play each of them individually. There we go. Now I can speak English, but and then we'll come back and kind of talk about what he says.
It was really 2017 when the New York Times came out with the story where they basically, a whistleblower had given them the FLIR footage of the Tic Tacs. and that were moving anti-ballistically through the air against 120 mile an hour headwinds and doing things that were impossible for any conventional aircraft to fly. And that's where, for me, all the reports and all the UFO flaps in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, and the 80s, from Roswell in 1947 to the alleged abduction of Betty and Barney Hill in the 1950s, and to the Pascagoula incident, and to then the aerial school in Zimbabwe that John Mack from Yale did extensive interviews and research about, and all the documentaries that have been made, and suddenly Congress is talking about it, and senators are asking questions, and there are the subcommittees are being convened, and in 2023, it was the House Intelligence Committee had hearings where they interviewed Grush, Fravor, and Graves, who were basically blowing the whistle on things they knew that they thought it was time to speak under oath to both Congress and the American people. And that really turned everything on its head.
So a couple things. First, I'm really surprised that he talks about the Tic Tac as though that is not man-made, which anybody who's been paying attention knows that Tic Tac is man-made. Like the schematic.
They say it's Lockheed Martin.
Well, if you watch Phantom Rider with Chad Kalick, like he gets the anti-gravity engine design. I think it even says Lockheed Martin on it, which is probably where, obviously that rumor started. I have had it confirmed by multiple sources who would be considered in the know that the Tic Tac is in fact man-made, based obviously on reverse engineered alien technology. Like we're not so far advanced that Lockheed Martin figured out how to make the Tic Tac on their own. Like that's not a thing. we would need at least another 100 years to do something like that. But yeah, I fully think and believe, mostly because, like I said, it's been confirmed that the Tic Tac is man-made, and I'm surprised to hear Steven Spielberg not talk about that aspect of it, but to talk about it as if it is, what we thought it was at the time, an alien craft.
I kind of think the reason that they would talk about that or point that out is because A, we won't acknowledge it as it's something that we've made, and B, if they did acknowledge it as something we've made, they'd have to explain how, and the how would be the undoing for all of that stuff.
Well, right, because I mean, everything in Disclosure Day is obviously shit that's been confirmed.
Yeah,
there's no theory or assumptions or beliefs added to that movie at all. That's all I'm saying. So that just threw me for a loop a little bit. Like I just thought that Steven Spielberg, out of anybody, would talk about how, I mean, not even so much that it needs to be man-made, but like it's the reverse engineering part of that aspect. Like we're not doing that for some reason, or we don't have that capability yet to do the reverse engineering.
Maybe he doesn't want to get lost while he's out hiking.
I think if he was going to be disappeared, he would have been disappeared by now.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. The other thing is, and I want to point this out, not so much that it's tooting our own horn here, but I have I did start to upload some of the old interviews that were missing from our from the archive. One of them being David Mize's interview with Craig Powell, who is the Australian uh, paranormal investigator who uh, started the whole like alien thing for me anyway. I was not that big of a follower of that. We brought him on to talk about the documentary Sir No Face, which he did with Chad Kalick. The third movie in that like Sir No Face set or trilogy or whatever is the Phantom Rider one, what I was just talking about with the gravity drive, the anti-gravity drive, I should say. Um, but they got kind of him and Chad got kind of tossed into this whole alien conspiracy thing, which I think could be its own movie. But he talked about how that all came about during his interview with Dave and myself, and what he told us off the air was unbelievable. Like, I wish we could have been on the air. Like he could have actually talked about it. So I'm not going to say a word, obviously, even though I think he's come out about it. I think we're okay talking about it now, but I do want to get him back on the show. It's been years, and he
I was like,
like
if I'm recalling, didn't they weren't they approached by government or government type officials and basically shut down for all that, what they were trying to capture?
there so many different times. But yeah, Craig got visited by I mean, not only was he just constantly watched, the black SUVs, and he's in Australia, so it's not exactly like
The same, yeah.
FBI territory is kind of what I'm saying, but yeah, he got visited. I think this was before maybe like number 2 was about to come out, um, by 2 guys, normal clothes, never seen him before. He opened up the door and was immediately like frozen in place. Like he couldn't move. And he was talking about how like blood started to drip from his nose, like you could hear it hitting his foot. And he said his cat, which usually comes over, when he opens the door for people, the cat will come over to inspect it, as most cats will, like had a seizure while he was standing there. And they just just looked at him and they're like, you're going to stop what you're doing. And they pretty much just like, this was a warning, pretty much. They turned around and walked away, and after a bit he could move again. He ran after them and they were gone. And he's like, it's a long way to the road. He's like, and I can see 300 yards in both directions. It was like 10 seconds and they were gone. No car, no people, nothing. I think he talked about this in either Phantom Rider or number 2, because I think they posted photos of it. But there was a guy that was watching them from like an empty field across the street from him or something like that. He's got a picture of him in the field, and then he's gone. Like I think there was like a flash of light or a transporter door opening. I don't know, but he was gone. So yeah, so much shit happened around that. I hope he's all right. Honestly, he got rid of his social media footprint. Like he hasn't been a part of Facebook in years. I still have my text box and it's like from 2015 or something like that with him. And all this is his Facebook user. But yeah, it's that's a crazy, but if you want to go towards the top of the list now, it has the original air dates as, paranormal investigator, Craig Powell listened to it. and this was years ago, but he talked about, and this is what goes with this first clip. He talked about how the governments of the world were getting ready for this fake invasion. Like they were like what they've captured in Cernoface, which they thought was a full-bodied apparition, which like half the people thought that it was actually an alien, was one of their fake aliens, which they were creating in Australia. And obviously the goal was to make scare people enough with this fake invasion so that all the power of the world would be condensed into very specific people, and they would be able to hold power indefinitely. Obviously, and they would control the money, they would control everything.
Yeah, one world government.
Which I get. Like, I don't doubt that happening at all. But he said the signs of that would be you would start to see people talk about it more. You would start to see Congress talk about it. You would start to see the media talk about it. And when that happened, you were getting closer to this fake invasion. And I don't know. If it was going to happen, it would happen under Trump. Not to get political here, but I mean, there's a reason he's not worried about the elections, apparently, or pricing or anything, because especially if he knows that, like, hey, in September, we're all going to get invaded, quote unquote.
We're done.
So we'll be in power indefinitely because I'm going to show that we have the power to protect the people from these fake aliens. Well, these aliens, but they wouldn't call them fake aliens. So, yeah, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if he talks about that on the show. That part of it, the fake invasion part.
Bell has actually come out with that as well. He's on one of the interviews he did. He was known in the backgrounds to be talking about the fake invasion and stuff like that. And then they sat him down and it was like, you want me to say it? And basically he comes out and he says that there was a fake invasion that was slated to occur so that they could get tighter controls on things. So yeah, that either maybe he talked to him or there's just other stuff floating out there. But yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, for a while it was like a really big theory, and then it just kind of sank away. Like I honestly thought it was going to happen during Trump's first term, and then it didn't. Like we kept seeing the signs, and then they would just stop, and then we'd see some more signs, and they would just stop. And but now, I mean, it's ramping up. I'm not saying obviously Spielberg is a part of it. I don't think he is at all, but at least not intentionally. But it's interesting because all of these things that they said that they were lining up to do are now starting to actually happen. We just thought it was going to happen 10 years ago. Well, maybe not 10 years ago, but I mean, like I have been doing the show for 10 years. So,
what is that, like the law of attraction? You put it out there and then it happens?
No, for me, if I put it out there, the opposite happens. So if I'm absolutely sure I'm going to succeed at something, I will fail miserably. If I put it out there that me and a woman should be in love, it's going to end horribly. So the opposite of what I put out there is what happens for me.
Of course, then if you were to switch that around and try to use logic on there, they'd be like, oh, you heard what he asked for, give it to him.
Yeah, I do believe that would be it. Yeah. I only get what I don't ask for, which is why I call it weird. Because if not, I would have been like, of course I'm going to go and film for Nick and Tessa for their new show. Why wouldn't I? I put it out there. No, I didn't. Like I had no clue whatsoever. So I only get what I don't ask for. But when I do ask for it, I get the opposite. So, but that's between me and some future shrink. So, we'll see. Anyways, all right. Do you have anything to say about this first clip? I know I've been talking a lot, and I'm sorry. It's the only way that I'm staying
No,
awake. But
no, that's fine. No, I mean he pretty covers it pretty well. I think by the time we get to the end, it'll be fairly obvious where all that went. So he's
we
just
shall
trying
see.
to catch everyone up.
True. So here's the second part of his interview.
I feel like you are hoping to start a conversation with this movie.
I am. I'm hoping to have people have a conversation, to think about it a lot, even perhaps see it again. I'm not to talk about commercial reasons for seeing it again, because there are so many questions people are going to have coming out of Disclosure Day. And by seeing it again, they are going to get some of those questions asked, but not all of them, answered, but not all of them. And I just want to start conversations about this.
Conversations about has that ever worked out for anybody?
Probably not. Not that I know of. I was going to say, but you're also talking someone on the scale of Spielberg, and this thing is already. Everyone has been saying that it's such a great movie and the best movie in 25 years, and whatever, all the other stuff to get people to go to the movies.
Then I can only assume that all of the scenes with the animals aren't actually in the movie.
I'm telling you that they'll make sense when you actually see it.
I don't doubt. It's just dumb. I'm sorry. It's just dumb. But yes, I'm sure, just because of, as you said, about the trailer, at the end, that deer morphs into a gray.
Yes.
And I'm sure that the animals, like you said, are implanted. Not
memories.
Not implanted memories, but implanted. Like, instead of seeing them, she sees something that she's comfortable with.
Yeah,
so changed, morphed. The perspective of the memory, it has been altered. That, I think that's the best way of saying it. So yeah, so the animals are the metaphorical representations of the aliens that came for them.
Yeah.
I get that. It's just dumb. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. But
it's part of the phenomena.
Yeah, apparently. Phenomena is going to be, how am I going to avoid rolling my eyes when they show up? But and the good thing is the shift that I have this week gets me done with work Friday morning, so I can actually go Friday night and see the movie. Or I might turn it, because we need to get together for the team needs to get together on Saturday to go over evidence of our last case. So maybe I might make it a team outing to see Disclosure Day.
That'll be kind of cool. I'm sure there will be discussion afterwards.
See? And he wins.
Yep.
Spielberg is somebody I do not care if he wins. If he manipulates me into doing something, I'm all right with that. So we can have that discussion, and I'm sure you and I will have that discussion. Probably not on the air, because that's what we're doing now. But we're both going to see it this weekend, this week, or next weekend anyway.
First showing, yeah.
First showing Thursday night, midnight movie.
No, I did Friday morning. I didn't do the midnight release, but
well, then you're not going to go see the first showing, then, are you?
First showing on Friday.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the way you want to do it. First showing on Friday. Yeah. So I do believe that this will be a discussion, but here's here's my question. What will come of this discussion? Because discussions fade. you and I can talk about it till we're blue in the face, or shall I say gray in the face. But what comes of it? Is anything going to change?
Slowly, I think yes. I think so, much like the hitchhiker effect, where people start talking about it or opening their eyes to it, and it starts spreading and stuff like that. I think that's I think that's the desired effect.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stop an idea. I mean, you just can't. I mean, it's why politicians say stupid shit that they do, because
Yeah.
they don't have to be factual. They just need to get the idea in your head or in somebody's head, and then they win. That's all they need to do.
Say it enough time, and then it becomes true. At least in politics.
Well, again, not to get it political, but that's the whole administration's idea: fake it till you make it. You lie until everybody, including you, believes it. I mean, at the they say, what is it? Confidence makes the man, or whatever. Anyways, I do believe there will be a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how long that conversation lasts and what comes of it. That's what I'm interested in. Even more so than the conversation itself, because you and I have been discussing it for years.
Well, yeah. This is all nothing new to everyone who follows the subject.
Yeah,
this is the wake up for the people who haven't been paying attention.
Right. And I think somebody like Spielberg obviously would be one of the only people that I would have that has the mojo to do something like this and not be like smacked down by everybody who is who stands to lose from this in some fashion. So here's the third section.
Yeah, I look. I've been a believer since I made Close Encounters 50 years ago, but I wouldn't call that science fiction. I called it science speculation. And when I did press on Close Encounters, I refused to call it science fiction. But I was certainly a believer of life elsewhere. But I would always say, until I see a UAP or a UFO with my own eyes, I'm not going to categorically state that there's proof that there's life from out there has come here. But I have changed that, because I'm now willing to change my mind because of the circumstantial evidence, which is overwhelming.
What's interesting about that last statement is the circumstantial evidence, which is overwhelming. Like, that's still not enough. Like, you can have 1,000 pieces of circumstantial evidence and still not have an actual piece of evidence.
Yeah, but when you realize who he was talking with and who he was getting to have conversations with by J. Allen Hynek and Jacques Vallée on Close Encounters, I can only imagine what he knows now that he when he found out back then. So yeah, if that's your jumping off point, I can't imagine what exactly he's seen or what exactly he knows.
Oh, I think he knows far more than he would ever give away in an interview. Hell, I know more than what I give away in the interview or what I give away, during in the show. That's not hard. But yeah, he's got to have access to far more people than I do. Like, I can't imagine he hasn't talked to Jay Stratton. I can't imagine he hasn't talked to Louis Alonzo, or whatever the hell his last name is.
Lou Elizondo. Yeah, I was going to say
Elizondo. Yeah.
Well, you got to look. So you go back to Ready Player One. Him and Dan Farrow both worked on that movie together. So now you have Age of Disclosure and Disclosure Day. So the two directors that basically came out with, here's all the politicians, here's all the pilots and everything like that, and now you have Spielberg putting a bow tie on it for the general public.
I guess one of my questions for Spielberg, like if I had an opportunity to ask him a question, would just be like, how long has this been in the works? Like this, I can't imagine that this is something he started a year ago. Like
No.
I would love to see if he had this idea 10 years ago, but the government, the public, whatever, wasn't ready for it. I mean, we've been primed. That's the whole thing. Anytime somebody is going to make a big change in society, you see the signs for it to get us ready. And that comes in movies, and that comes in TV shows, that comes in newspapers and magazines and TV shows like TV media. So yeah, I would think that they've done an interesting job. I'm curious to see why they're going to do it. Like, are they going to do it because they really want the world not to like crumble into itself if they actually disclose this stuff? Or are they trying to move towards their narrative of power and greed and bullshit to make us believe what they want us to?
Well, so I think that falls into two things. I think if they keep the lie up long enough, like it's going to come out. Like there is no doubt in my mind that something is going to happen and it will be unavoidable at that point. And then they're going to have to face the backlash of, yeah, we've lied to you for the last 80 years, but trust us now. So I think that bodes very bad for them if they go that route. And which is why I think they're starting to slowly let it go out. The second thing I think is that maybe there is something that has been building and there is something to like the new knowledge coming out. Well, what if the new knowledge is, hey, this is not what you think it is. This is something else. This is them coming out and being like, no, we're not going to let you do that anymore. We're tired of waiting for you to actually announce it.
I guess we shall see. Like,
yeah.
This is where, like, it's getting to the point where you and I are just going to sit back and watch and see what happens. More so you than me. Because you follow this stuff religiously, whereas I just wait for you to tell me. So,
give you the countdown.
There better not be a countdown, because the only alien movie that involved a countdown means like we were getting eradicated.
Well, so I didn't clip that one. I didn't send you that one because I didn't want to end it on a downer thing. But Lou is like, I don't know.
We always want to end this show on an uptick.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to say it was the interview that he did with Jillian Michaels, that lady, and had her in tears and stuff like that. And he was like, just spend time with your family. And like, it was real cryptic, didn't really sound positive-ish to like, what do they want, Phil? Well, or what do they want, Lou? Well, you should just spend as much time with your family as you could right now. And I was like, yeah, that seems really dark, man.
It sounds rehearsed.
It does. But I was gonna say the other thing to that is that I think people are I think a lot of people would be under the assumption it's an alien race, and that like recently there's been a whole ton of talk about 4 different races and possibly, something that goes back to the biblical times and stuff like that. So like, it's not one thing, it's 5 different things. And who's to say that all 5 of those are good things or positive in any sort of way, shape, or form?
Well, not only that, so you want to go back to biblical times. So if you ask Cena, and maybe we should one of these times, this is not the first edition of the Earth. Like, the human race has been killed off, I think, like 4 different times already, where we've blown ourselves to smithereens and then we start over again. That's why you see these. There's a lot of people who, when they get abducted, and they're not actually strapped to the table and probed and have medical, like they get tours of ships and shit like that. And a multiple people have talked about this calendar that they get shown, and the message of the experiment is about to be done. And that is because apparently this is the last time that humans are going to be allowed to screw shit up for themselves. Like, we either prosper or we're going to cease to exist altogether. Is what I have been told. Is what the experiment is. But this is not the first time around the sun, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And each time they hope that we correct our mistakes that we made in the previous runs. And from what I understand, we are not. We're not going in the right direction.
Doing the same thing. Doing the same
Right.
thing over and over and expecting a different outcome is insanity.
Well, right. And so they have all of these rules about non-interference, but every so often a little token of technology or knowledge like gets put into our society. And apparently it's called a gift and not interference. And I've argued with Cena about this many times. I'm like, that's hypocritical bullshit. Call it whatever you want. You're interfering. And it's who gets it. Like, they give it to certain people. And then whatever we do with it, that's our decision. And
Well,
I'm
I've always, as far as some of that stuff, like, I know that there's stories of crafts that are gifted to us or there intact, and we go get them and take them away. And to me, that's, I don't know, that's like the aliens putting down the piece of cheese and the rat maze, and it's like, well, let's see what they can do now.
And was it might have been you, it might have been, I don't know who I was talking to, but I've asked the question. I'm like, how many times has an alien craft crashed or been left? You know, you would think that if they can get here from another galaxy or whatever, that maybe they don't crash in the Roswell Desert. Maybe they would figure out how to not do that over and over and over and over again here on Earth.
All the way through space or other dimensions, and then as soon as they get here, auto accident.
It's like, I can't handle this gravity. Yeah, it's it's like, what? So I mean, the question remains, like, are they really crashing or are they leaving shit for us to find and see what we do with it? And of course, what we do with it doesn't benefit us, at least. And I'm talking about the human race. Not yet, anyway.
Well, at least if you listen to Lukatsky, I mean, it took us at least 30 years, I think, to get inside one of them. And they got inside and it was empty, or there wasn't what they thought it would be inside there. So, yeah. Like, okay, well, you open the box. Now what do you do?
Well, if you go back to Selig's interview with us in the book Hush, and you can kind of see it in Spielberg's trailer, it's not about technology. It's not about having a crew to man the stations. It's all done telepathically. They don't even have to be on the ship in order for it to do anything.
Yeah.
And Selig had that in his book, where she was just like, she was telepathically connected to the ship.
Yeah.
You saw that in Emily Blunt's eyes, which I'm assuming is what that whole point of that was that she was connecting to one of their ships to fly it or whatever. That's probably it coming down the clouds, like she's controlling it with her mind. But I can't imagine that because I mean, there's all kinds of people who have said that they communicate telepathically. Hell, that's even in Independence Day. Like, they don't have any vocal cords. We think they body language and ESP, and they think it's telepathy and stuff like that. So I'm surprised that they were surprised by that. But then again, that was what, the 80s? Because you said it took like 30 years for them to get into it. So I mean, I get it. I mean, now it'd be like, yeah, this makes sense.
I don't think they had the concepts back then or I don't think they had all the concepts that we have now going. So
yeah, no, they didn't. Did I play the final one? The 18-second one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, because I think that's the last one.
It is the last one. Well, then I have the Colbert one.
Oh yeah.
But what draws you to a character who is, essentially a whistleblower?
Well, because a whistleblower is risking everything. They're risking their careers, they're risking gainful employment, they're risking their reputations, and there's some of them risking their lives.
Sorry, caught me on a cough.
I did. That's why I was laughing. You had actually, and maybe I will post some of it, because I mean, it's interesting, and we have a little time if we wanted to.
Brown is probably the best one.
The what one?
Matthew Brown. I think it's probably the second one.
Oh, like that. I watched the first one, but I mean, like, here's something that he told Colbert. Like I said, I was surprised you didn't clip the part where he's like, "What about me? Like, I should be the representative of Earth." But here's something he was telling Colbert about the movie.
The story is a chase. The story is a kind of race for the truth. It's a pursuit to take an entire archive of all the information about UFO and extraterrestrial visitation to this planet, beginning with Roswell in 1947, and the people who have been guarding these secrets and keeping these secrets away from the general public. The whistleblowers inside that organization have stolen the entire archive. And those who do not want the truth to be known go after them. And there's a couple of very important people in our story. Emily Blunt plays Margaret, and Josh O'Connor, they're both incredible together. But Josh O'Connor suddenly realizes that he knows a language that a week ago he didn't know he knew. And something has happened to both of these people that has imbued them with tremendous powers, not superhero Marvel DC type powers, but powers that we could all relate to, powers involving human connection and empathy, deep empathy. And this scene is where he admits that he suddenly understands something that a week ago he didn't even know anything about. Isn't it going to be wonderful when people realize after seeing this movie that everything is true and has been true? Now, that's the big difference.
You're muted.
Hey, we're back. Apparently, uploading a file while streaming isn't a good combination. Especially when you're using my phone hotspot as opposed to the ridiculously bad Wi-Fi that I have. So, anyways, everything's true. Like, let me ask you, because maybe you haven't thought about this, maybe you have. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that he's right. Everything that we have ever theorized, conspiracy theory, whatever, turns out to be true. How do you react to that?
Me personally, it would be like when if it ever gets acknowledged, it will be okay. Now we move on to the next phase. I was going to say ultimately I mean, and I think that's probably the big stumbling block that most people have with it is that, or at least I think it will be, the day after disclosure, you're still going to have to get up and go to work. You're still going to have to pay bills. You're still going to, I mean, it's still going to be the grind, at least for a while. I mean, even if yeah, we've had this technology, we're going to start rolling it out. It's not like everyone is going to have their own little tic tac to go back and forth to work and stuff like that. That's not going to change for us. They're definitely not going to give us access to those things. That is going to be government classified, militarized, and kept out of the general public's hands.
So you're telling me, and honestly, with you personally, I 100% think that this is true. But your reaction to that, to full disclosure and everything is true, is all right. Well, tomorrow's Thursday. Got to go to work.
Well, I mean, is it gonna be different? Is it going to be a different place? It should be. It will. I mean, will it be acknowledged, and it'll be, where do we go from here? What's the next step? Now we can stop trying to bash everyone for saying they see these things and trying to cover it up, and go forth with an openness towards this is happening, and no, these people aren't crazy.
Somewhat off topic, just came to my head. I want your opinion on it, because I thought about this. Was it this weekend? It probably was this weekend, because obviously dealing with and meeting Father Bob Bailey, obviously Roman Catholic priest. Do you think one of the reasons why a pope from Chicago was picked, or I should say bishop or cardinal from Chicago was picked as pope, is because he was open to the idea that disclosure could happen?
Maybe, but I think the previous popes have made, at least if you pay attention, they've made some statements out there that basically don't deny it, but don't open up to it. And with, now you have the Vatican putting forth documentaries about some of that stuff. Yeah, I think they're kind of, the gears are turning towards, this is coming out one way or the other. So if we don't embrace it, we're going to have to play catch up and try to explain ourselves for all this time.
So I asked the question that you asked me to. We will ask him again, Father Bob, about the aliens or demons question. So that night, it was, because I mentioned it later that night, and he had a severe reaction to this thing. But like most people, you get an email from Reddit, like every night, with like 5 different topics of stuff that you've shown that you are interested in. One that I got says, Chief Exorcist of the Archdiocese of Washington has been fired for his comments on UFOs. Quote, statements made by Monsignor Rossetti linking UFOs to demonic presence and the center's recent use of social media gravely undermine the church's very precise teaching on the devil, demons, and exorcism. So I don't know if you know this, but they fired
Yeah, I had seen it.
You saw it? Okay, so you probably got the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him, I'm like, do you know about this? And yeah, he had a very negative reaction. He pretty much like, I'm not even going to talk about that. So, but he did answer the question that had nothing to do with this guy, about the whole, like JD Vance saying that I think aliens are demons and blah, blah, blah. So we will ask him that on the show. So I don't want to give his answer.
Okay.
I want him to answer that. You already know his answer, but
Yeah.
Our listeners do not. So you clipped, and I only uploaded the second one, thinking that was the one you wanted from, let's say, UFOs in the desert. Is that what it was?
Contact in the Desert.
Contact in the Desert, which happened last weekend.
Yeah.
And it was who's involved in this? Obviously, George Norrie, right? No,
It's it's George Norrie or George Knapp. Sorry,
George Knapp. That's what I was like.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not
wrong
Norrie.
George.
One George.
Yeah, it's the weaponized panel at Contact in the Desert, and it was. I thought it was a good panel. It would encourage anyone to, if you like it, go, or if you like the clip, watch the full thing. Go watch the full thing if it's not too pricey.
Oh, how'd you get it? Did you pay for it?
Pay for I pay for it.
Oh, well, I guess it's good to have money.
I watch, well, be interested in it. So you want to see it before everyone else does. That's all that is.
Well, then, like I said, good that you have money. Yeah. So this is from that panel. And it's one of 4 that you had clipped. So we'll see what happens after this. It's 3 minutes long. So, yeah, we'll be back.
I'm 35. This started for me 5 years ago. My wife and I are, we wanted a family. Seems very remote now. It's very difficult to imagine a future at this moment. It has been hell.
So you hear these rah-rah pronouncements from the UFO gallery. Hey, come on, whistleblowers, come forward. They wouldn't dare hurt you or prosecute you. They don't need to prosecute you to destroy your life. I mean, the consequences are very real. Could you share a little bit more about what Jeremy mentioned about the break-in and spreading out the information in your house?
Yeah, that was very bizarre, and I didn't quite realize the gravity of what had happened at the time. It was only as time went on, just became clear how both utterly strange it was and how there's only one real explanation for what was going on. So to walk through it, woke up just a normal weekday and was heading out to work early in the morning, and just saw my wife's cards laid out on the couch and all her IDs and everything, and I thought, oh, that's strange, maybe she lost something. So I started cleaning up, and then I see more things moved around, and it starts looking like, oh shit, we had a hot prowl. Someone was in here last night while we were sleeping trying to rob us. But then I look around, and right on that ground floor, there's 3 laptops worth like thousands of dollars each. Nothing is missing. The only thing taken out of the house is, as you said, my grandfather's ashes, who was a Navy veteran of World War II. And not only that, after World War II, continued to serve his country. We don't know exactly what he did, but I did find that he was conveniently stationed at multiple NSA stations across the United States through the 50s. We'll never find his records because they were all destroyed in that fire in Missouri. So that is the man whose remains they took away from me and left as a message in the street next to the garbage. So that was a very difficult day. Didn't end up going to work because we had to call the police and have a normal investigation. They were just as confused as us, They thought maybe it was just some creep instead, came in and looked some sort of sexual pervert, because nothing's missing. Why are you in a house with these people sleeping?
You don't think that's the answer?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's intimidation. It's meant to mess with your brain. It's meant to mess with your life.
Correct. And at that point, I was not a whistleblower to Congress. I was merely involved with the sort of networks in the intelligence community that were looking at UAP from the perspective of, what the hell is going on, and we're being lied to. We need to start figuring this out from the inside, because these phenomena, these beings, these technologies are in contact with our service members on the front lines on a near daily basis. People are getting hurt. Nothing is being done about it.
Is that the clip that you wanted?
Yeah, that's it. His was the more drawn out, and the story where they broke into his house and stuff. So Borland and stuff like that, they basically cut his brake lines and he crashed his vehicle. And yeah, I mean, there's a history of them fucking with people that decide to try to come out and tell the truth.
What's interesting though is the fact that he's like, I wasn't even a whistleblower at the time. Like that's what they'll do to people. I mean, they'll break into your house, they'll steal your grandfather's ashes, and they'll lay out everything that you supposedly know just to try to be like, we can get to you anytime we want, and this is the reason why. And if you become a whistleblower, well, then they just cut your brake lines and they, hope that you die.
Yeah, and basically what he uncovered was he is who got he's who eventually it came out because of was Immaculate Constellation. He was cleaning up a server. He was cleaning up a server for the military part of his job, and they left all this information on there, and he saw it, and so he reported it to a superior, and that is what came from that. And it's like, so doing your job got that response, and then he became a whistleblower. He went and reported it and stuff like that afterwards.
It's sad though that he starts that with my wife and I wanted a family, and doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. Like that's really sad, and sad to hear, I should say. But yeah, wow. I don't know. This is still a very ongoing, like, balancing act. Like, how do you balance your curiosity and your need for knowledge with your general safety and survival? Like, you wouldn't think that those would be the two sides of the coin.
Yeah, either shut up and say nothing, or take the potential of you and your family or you and your loved ones are going to get whacked. But like I said before, like Lou has talked about, there's a reason he has five German shepherds and a lot of guns and a lot of open space between him and anything else. So yeah, I definitely think those threats are a real deal thing. And I don't think a lot of people realize you see it in the movies and stuff like that and think, okay, whatever. But there's some of the other stories that they talk about in there is like Dylan Borland, the guy who they cut his brakes, tried to apply for I think Home Depot or something to move lumber and stuff like that. And you look at that thing and you're like, why is this dude that has a master's degree and reported to the president and the defense minister or the Department of Defense head and stuff trying to work at Home Depot, and then they turn him away because like there's something wrong with you, or there's something going on here that we don't want any part of.
What guy that can't get a job at the Home Depot? I guess my suggestion is go to Ivy. They'll hire anybody. Yeah, they even have billboards that are like, when can you start? So there you go. There you go. Or there's McDonald's. McDonald's will hire anybody.
Yeah.
They don't even require an application anymore. I'm just kidding. That's it. They
really?
obviously
I was gonna say.
they totally do. It's like, come on in. You want to start at 2? Yeah, they don't even have it now. That's just whoever shows up. They give them a shirt.
Aren't they replacing the people with the terminals anyway?
They still have to have people. But yeah, the terminals are decent. I like the terminals, but you still need people until the robots come.
Yeah, they basically one of the places down here, it was a breakfast place, and you go there and you order stuff. They got rid of the people and put you a little digital sign that you can order your stuff with that wants you to enter, like, I don't know, your email address, your phone number, your data. I was like, there's no way I'm putting all that information in here.
You should have like a skip. Like, no, I'm not. Do not register. But yeah, no, it's honestly, I say this all the time, but you know, I'm surprised that I have not gotten a visit or an email or something, because I probably shouldn't say this, but I do, 'cause I'm gonna get my phone hacked or listening to my conversation, something. But like, I know more than I'm supposed to. But
Well,
maybe
if you
I'm
go after the show, go listen to the first clip from Weaponized, because they talk about how they got
I did.
called. They got invited down there, and just leave your phones here and you'll be okay. And they got their phones hacked, and
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I caught that part of it. But what got me of the first clip was the fact that they went in and they were like trusting their government was going to do an investigation as if they didn't already know the answers. Like that's what threw me for a loop, was like they were shocked at the fact of the government turned on them after they gave them all these names and stuff to do an investigation. And the whole time I'm just like, how do you not, like, how do you not look at them and be like, how do you not know this information already? Like,
well,
what
that's
are you?
a lot of what they gave them was stuff they should already know, which is, I think they were cautious going into it and they were hopeful, but yeah, that did not turn
Yeah.
out well.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I definitely would not. I would not trust the government to do anything about this. The second they try to disappear anybody in any time frame, they are not working for my best interests.
I mean, and it's all out there. So I mean, all you really got to do is know Mockingbird and MK Ultra. I mean, they dosed people with LSD, tossed someone out a window, and had people employed at various media outlets trying to control the narrative for the media. So
I just want to say, to all of the NSA agents who are now listening to the show because Anthony said the word mockingbird, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. Go listen to the other 377 episodes.
yeah, I'm sure if you want to get us flagged, we could say Project Rubik's Cube too, because that's another one that just recently come leaked out.
Because somewhere there's a database that's logging all of these code
Oh,
words. Yeah. So fun times. I guess I don't really have much more to say about this until I see the movie, obviously. Like Hush, like Disclosure Day, like these seem to be fiction but not fiction.
Yeah.
You know, as Spielberg said, and I like that, it was scientific speculation. I like that term. I like that terminology. So yeah, I think it's going to be truth wrapped in a story, wrapped in a fictional story, just like Hush was.
Yeah, I think it's going to be truth wrapped in a story that is geared towards a majority of the people seeing it, liking it, and then hopefully asking questions or coming out of there going, wait, that was real?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Fun times had by all. Strange days ahead of us, my friends.
Yep.
Strange days. But I don't know if they're going to like be mad at me or not for saying this, but I would like to do another plug since you mentioned it earlier. Oh, that reminds me. I have to send a message about Bledsoe to Grant. He hasn't followed through. I don't like that. But obviously because he's busy. So when Grant and Rihanna were on, they announced on our show for the first time their new school to try and get people to a higher level of vibration, so to speak. Just a different way of looking at the world and yourself and the journey that we're all on. Well, speaking of this new knowledge, which you've talked about many times, like Chris Bledsoe has talked about, Grant has told me that part of their school, which is the unseen path .com. That's correct, right? The unseen path.
I think so. Let me see. I think I have it somewhere on here.
Yes, the unseen path school.com. That some of this new knowledge that Bledsoe is talking about is actually a part of their lessons. So if you're interested in learning some of that stuff, not all of it, obviously, there's way more to this new knowledge, apparently, than just just that. But a part of it is a part of his or their, I should say, Grant and Rihanna's school, the unseen path school.com. So if you're interested in that kind of topic, there you go. You can already be ahead of the curve once Romulus merges with the Sphinx and the tidal waves equal 10 feet or whatever, the hell the prophecy foretells.
The cryptic prophecy that you love so much.
I hate all prophecies because they're stupid. They're ridiculous.
Oh, they're too vague.
They are. Well, they're too vague. They're not even vague. You can't get much more specific than the Romulus, goes in line with the Sphinx. Like, you can't get more specific than it's cryptic. It's metaphorical garbage. And I would expect more from our gods. That's all I'm saying. Maybe, grab a dictionary, read a book, figure out how we talk. But that's my criticism of demigods. Want to communicate with us? Learn how to communicate with us. That's all I'm saying.
They're just like, show the math.
Show your work. That's what I want. Yes. And then give me the conclusion. Math doesn't lie. It's all I need. It's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's a hard ask. So that's it. But yeah, so touting a lot of stuff here this afternoon. I am a one-man promotion team for hire. But anyways, so yeah. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, no, I'm until we see it and it comes out. Oh, there is an event on the 9th that's supposed to happen on the steps of Congress, which is Grush and a bunch of bipartisan senators and stuff getting together, calling for a quicker transparency and more transparency with what's coming out. So that's this Wednesday, 2 days before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I don't got nothing. It's just gonna have to wait and see.
How it plays.
Yeah, and I still have not gotten an answer to the question of how do we even trust what they release, anyways.
Oh, anything that they release, you should at least be. I think it's good to have a healthy skepticism and look into it. Don't definitely do your own work and do your own research on that stuff, but at least be open to ask the questions.
Yeah. I mean, until, Vlarg from SETI Alpha 5 lands on the White House octagon. Now I guess can't even say the lawn, but until they land there and they come out and they'll be like, we're here. Show us to somebody that's not the leader. I am going to look at it with way more than healthy skepticism. Might even be cynicism. And I don't like cynicism, but my God, I don't think we can trust anything that comes out of government, our government, human government. If it comes out from
I can totally
an
agree.
alien administration, I'm okay. I'd be okay with that.
I was going to say both sides have definitely blurred those lines, and government in general.
Yes, indeed. So, all right. Well, that does it for this episode. We got some really good shows coming up. We wanted to have Jody Dane back on the show. Military chaplain, has a very good relationship with angels. She's been on the show before a couple times. She's really busy right now, but in a couple weeks she's going to be coming on. We obviously got Father Bob Bailey coming up. We have Nick and Tessa coming up. So many good shows. So stay tuned for all of that. It's just obviously picking dates, and in between, you get Anthony and I. And what could be better than that? I mean, I know you see our guests, but you come on just to hear our questions. Admit it. our hard-hitting journalistic type questions. But so stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll get to update the calendar on our website. Considering I don't think it's been updated since March. Sorry about that, by the way. But anyway, as always, like and subscribe on YouTube if you're willing and able to do so. Only because I don't trust Facebook to post our shows anymore. So but YouTube so far hasn't screwed that up. So I like that.
That's where they go to scrub the data.
Yeah. So with that said, we'll be back next week with another brand new episode. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe. We want to see you back here. Everyone have a great rest of the